Hey, happy Wednesday, everyone. It's January 21st, 2026. I'm Rich Tola, and here's what's cooking for today. Number one, To Hell and a Handbasket. Number two, we have a movie review of the new Avatar, Fire and Ash. And number three, To Be or Not to Be, a U.S. citizen, that is. But first, let's check in on your ABCs, the awesome workout, blissful sleep, colorful diet. Well, for me, I'm getting a 2 out of 3 ain't bad again today, guys. The workout, well, let me tell you, knee was really bad this morning. Back was really bad this morning. And so I'd say 50% on the workout, 50% on the sleep, got 100% on the diet. What did I have today? I had oatmeal, apple, cinnamon. So really good on that. So, well, let me tell you, check this out. I got my favorite leather jacket on. I feel like a little bit like Andrew Dice Clay, the Dice Man, or maybe Don Johnson back in the 80s. Remember with the collar? All right, here we go. Where's my little bell here? Oh, my God. I wasn't ready with the bell. All right, here we go. Let me fix this, guys. All right, here we go. All right. To hell and a handbasket. So, you ever hear that idiom? Meaning a situation is rapidly deteriorating, becoming ruined, or heading for disaster, often implying an inescapable or irreversible decline. Well, that's what I'm talking about. These are my top 10 reasons for To Hell and a Handbasket today. I've been thinking about this a lot because the news, it's depressing. Number one, world peace. It's non-existent. Right? What are we talking about? We got war in Russia, Ukraine, Iran. What about Nigeria, Venezuela, Cuba, China, South Korea? I mean, we're on the brink here. So that's number one. Number two, American peace. Well, we got riots in Minneapolis, Minnesota here, looters all over the cities, wherever, California. I think the far left, forget it, hates the right. The right eschews the left. I mean, wow, talk about peace. Wait, there's no peace. Number three, obesity rates are going through the roof, right? More than 40% are in the obesity category in the United States. Number four, reading and math proficiency scores for tweens and teens are in the gutter. That's right. We talked about that on last Friday. Nearly 80% of the eighth graders, they do not meet the proficiency scores. All right, number five. Did you see this? I heard this morning on the news, Apple News. It says the average age of a new hire in the United States is 42 years old. There's no work for the youth. Well, is that a combination of you got better workers, more experience? I mean, people are staying in their jobs. I got a friend of mine, give a shout out to Angie. She's working later in life. I mean, that's what's going on. People just want to keep working. There's no opportunities for America's youth. All right, number six, U.S. federal budget deficit, $1.8 trillion. Talk about through the roof. I mean, that's fiscal 2025 numbers, guys. Let me tell you. Number seven, I read this morning. Environmental and climate-related hazards cause 20% of cardiovascular disease and deaths. There's 20 million deaths related to this cardiovascular. 20% of them is with these cities. They said, they're giving them heart attacks because of this environment. All right, number eight, cost of living in the United States. I looked this up, $6,500 a month for a household. That's crazy. That's like insane, right? How about this? Number nine, we got ethics ratings of U.S. professionals at a record low. Okay, I saw this too. I got this Gallup poll. I read these newsletters. Here's the Gallup poll. It says high school teachers. These are what people believe in terms of ethics. It's at 50% for high school teachers. Police officers, 37%. Clergy, 27%. Business executives, 10%. Stockbrokers at 9%, and telemarketers, forget about it. That's 5%. Wait, not to mention politicians getting rich off of who knows what. I mean, that just blows my mind. And how about this? Number 10, criminals and murderers, a.k.a. Luigi Mangione, they're like social media stars. I don't get that. I mean, I truly don't get how somebody could gun down an innocent civilian in New York City in broad daylight, puts all these other people at risk. And, hey, I'm sorry, guys, but this guy needs to go. I'm a capital punishment person. I believe that. But I don't know about you, but again, to hell and a handbasket. All right. One last thing I want to say, because we talked about this with the kids, right? The average tween or teen is spending 7.5 hours a day screen time. All right. They're not reading books. They're not working out. They're not working, period. I mean, when I was 16 years old, I was cutting grass, doing whatever I had to do to make a few shekels. Let me tell you, I'd say that idiom holds true. We're going to hell and a handbasket. All right, let me give you a personal note here, because this is something dear to me. This happened when I was in my early 20s. My uncle, my godfather, it's my mother's brother, my Uncle Benny. He was awesome. I mean, he raised Dobermans when I was a kid. Never forget that. And he was a great guy. He was great to me. Well, he was beat to death with an aluminum bat on the streets of Trenton, New Jersey. That's a true story. I saw him. He was in a hospital. He was in a coma. His head was the size of it was horrible. It was like the Elephant Man. It was like, my mother couldn't even go. Okay. So when our President Trump, is doing his best to remove criminals from this country, from our streets by any means, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. We got to get rid of them. Rock on Donald Trump. All right. All right, let's move on here. I love this, guys. I have such a good time doing this. So whether you like it or not, I do. All right, Avatar, Fire and Ash. You guys know I love movies. I went to see this yesterday. I told you I'd go to see this movie. And I want to give a shout out to John over there in California. He worked on this. He's a CGI specialist, so he worked on all three of these movies. It's a third installment of the epic science fiction film franchise by James Cameron. Stars Zoe Saldana, Sam Worthington, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, Kate Winslet. Great cast. It's the, you guys know the first movie, Avatar, premiered on December 18th, 2009. The second, Avatar, The Way of Water, was released on December 16th, 2022. And this movie premiered, I guess James Cameron likes December, premiered December 19th, 2025. Okay, it had a budget of $400 million. Massive, right? It already grossed $1.3 billion. And, it made Zoe the highest grossing female actor of all time. All right, let me give you a little storyline here. I didn't see the second movie. I saw the first one, amazing. Didn't see the second one, be honest with you, but I did go see this. And Jake and Neytiri's family grapples with grief. I know a lot about that. Encountering a new aggressive Na'vi tribe, the Ash people, who are led by the fiery, what is her name? Varang, right? A fiery Varang, as the conflict on Pandora escalates and a new moral focus emerges. All right. I'm not going to give you any more than that, but let me tell you what I know about this film. All right. These are the positives. It's a PG-13 film. First, let me say this. It's a PG-13 film, and in the movie theater, right down from me, there's a woman, I would say 30-year-old woman. She had two children, less than kindergarten age. They were little, 3 and 4, I would say. They weren't in school. I go to the matinee. Clearly, they weren't in school. And this movie has a scene in it. I'm going to give you a little warning. It's like a potential suicide scene. Guy puts a gun up to his, it's kind of a gun. It's a machine gun. It's unbelievable. Like he's going to kill himself. And I'm thinking to myself, what is this? All right, well, it is what it is, right? Suicide is out there. So, anyway, but think about that. If you're going to see this movie, be conscious of that. All right, this movie, though, Avatar, Fire and Ash, it's very joyful. It's also very sad. It's heartfelt. It's gritty, but in a tasteful way. Let's give it negative. There's a lot of war. There's a lot of death. There's a lot of killing. If you like that. Now, again, these aren't really like real people per se. But, there's more killing than in a Schwarzenegger movie. I'm telling you, there's tons of that. But it is a family-centric film. Feels like a 2-hour movie. It's a 3-hour movie, but it doesn't feel that long. Yeah, like I said, there's no actors in it. That's something to me. I prefer to see real actors per se. But anyway, would I see it again? For sure. Would I see it in the movies? Nah, I'm not gonna go back to the movie. But it is triumphant. A little predictable. Maybe it should be. But in the end, justice is served, which I really like. So, guys, I'm giving this an A minus. I don't really care what the Rotten Tomatoes score. I don't think they scored it that high. Maybe in the 80s. I don't even know. I didn't even look that up. Probably should have looked that up. But the popcorn meter, I didn't look that up. But again, what am I giving this? What am I giving this? I'm giving this movie an A minus. Definitely go see this movie. If you're a kid, you're into that. I mean, if you're into, like I said, the CGI is amazing. So again, that's an A minus. Go see that movie, Avatar: Fire and Ash. All right, let's jump right into this here. Throw that over there. We got the Gallup polls. We did that. All right, here we go. This is my last thing I want to talk about. All right. Because when I was teaching, you guys know what DACA is? This came out in 2012. I remember this because a lot of kids would say, Mister, you believe in DACA? Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals in the United States, immigration policy that allows some individuals who, on January 15, 2012, were physically present in the United States with no lawful immigration status after they entered the country as a child at least 5 years earlier. Now, I said, yeah, I'm all for it. I'm all for that. I'm all for DACA. I was totally all for that because I don't think kids should be removed without a doubt. Deferred Action Childhood Arrivals. So, give you a little my background. I'm from Sicily. I'm a third-generation citizen from Sicily. My grandfather and my grandmother, my mother's parents, immigrated to America around 1900 to pursue the American dream. They came through Ellis Island, that I know. And they learned the language. They were upstanding citizens. They truly were. My uncle worked he ended up being a shoemaker, but he delivered bread. He did whatever he could to support the family. He had 3 children. My mother was one of them. You know, my uncle got killed. And she had a sister who since passed away. And her mother died of cancer, breast cancer, when my mom was 9 years old. Their sister was 5. The boy was maybe 1 or 2. So they went to Sicily. They went and got my Aunt Tina and Aunt Conchetta. That's my grandfather's brother, 2 sisters. Came over to help raise these 3 children because he's a single guy working 2 jobs and lived in a very Italian neighborhood. Everybody, my aunts were amazing. I'll never forget. We used to walk 2 miles to go, food shop in those days, to the store. We'd walk 2 miles. She'd hold my brother. They'd hold our hands. My sister wasn't born yet. And we'd walk. I remember we used to get live chickens. We'd tie a rope around. We'd walk the chickens home. I'll never forget. She'd stick a knife in and break it. These ants were badass. They were awesome. They swept the street. The place was immaculate. Never any trouble. Any other kids running the streets, they would reprimand them. That's the way it was. We took care of the streets. The streets were safe. Nobody messed around. But they never went to school. They never learned English. They spoke Sicilian. When I was a little kid, they didn't. But they were great citizens. And again, they were great Americans. They truly were. So I have tremendous compassion for immigrants coming to this country to make America great. What I don't have compassion for is those that don't want to make this country great. So here's what I propose. This is what I believe. If you've been living in this country for 5 years or more, and you're an upstanding citizen, not a criminal, not a bad apple, not a bad person, you should be able to take a test, pay a citizenship fee, and become a U.S. citizen. Now, again, you got to have the proficiency of an 8th grader. Why not? You got to be able to read, write, whatever. I mean, you don't make it too difficult, but you pay a fee. I don't know. Let the experts decide what that fee is. But from 5 to 15 years, when you make it to 15 years, forget the fee. Take the test. That's it. Become a citizen. Pay taxes. Add value to this country. We need it for sure. So again, criminals, get out. They don't belong here. That's what I propose. Maybe it's a $10,000 fee. I don't know. Maybe it goes from 10,000 down to 1,000 after 14 years, 15 years. You made it here. Boom. Free and clear. Become a citizen. What is wrong with that? All right. That's it for today, guys. I get fired up over this, but hey, a little shout out to Indiana University. Knew they were going to win. The football team brought it home. There's a celebration in Bloomington this weekend. Don't think I'm going to go, but have fun to everybody who is going. And as always, get your workout in. Peace.